Hey folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another historic set of matches with the Lifegain deck. Once again, we're going to try making another change today. I'm curious what will happen if I cut a couple of Serra Ascendants to play a few Angel of Vitalities. This is a card that I've been seeing in some of the other Historic Lifegain decks that I've been coming across, and it seems really interesting with things that trigger multiple instances of life gain, such as Linden. Like if you attack with 3 creatures and all of a sudden that 3 life becomes 6 life, that's kind of a big deal. And Angel Vitality is kind of similar to Serra Ascendant in that it gets better based on your life total, but rather than having to have 30 or above, this is only 25 or above. So we're going to try out a handful of matches with this and see how it feels. Alright, so let's go Historic Ranked with the old Lifegain deck and see how this fares. I'm going to kind of tap back and forth here and take a look at some of my volume balancing settings. I will keep this. Maybe tone that down a little bit. Against Hollowed Fountain, I'm maybe not expecting a creature that will kill one of my things in combat next turn, so I'm going to go ahead and lead on Serra Ascendant over Healer's Hawk. If my opponent played a land that made me more likely to think that they would actually play a creature other than like a 0/4 wall or something, I would not have led on this. I would have led on the Hawk instead. We get to be pretty aggressive if our Hollowed Priest doesn't get removed. If our Hollowed Priest gets removed, this hand kind of turns into a bit of a stinker. Okay, so this is just a 1/4 flyer. That's all there is to that. I'm going to be playing a land no matter what. The question is like Linden versus Daxos and Speaker, maybe? Daxos plus Speaker puts me to 22 life. Plus Linden probably gets me to 27 next turn. I could choose this opportunity to throw away Serra Ascendant. And then I gain 1 more life. Nah, let's not do that. The extra body is valuable next turn for Linden reasons. This is obviously not the best for me. Kind of got baited by their creature into Wrath of God. So this kills Narset, and that hits them. Alright, I am at 27. It is a very convenient number. I'm willing to play this Healer's Hawk into another Wrath, but I'm not willing to throw away the other Speaker into a Wrath, because I'll still be at 27 post-Wrath. Alright, so that feels like my opponent very aggressively fishing for a Wrath effect. Dig that. It looks like I have to over-damage this. That's okay.
Must think faster.
Alright, my opponent getting pretty good card advantage now. But they're taking a lot of damage. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, they take 14. Alright, what is this? The source would deal damage to you, prevent that damage, and put a counter on this. There's 9 or more counters on it, exile it. When that leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. Okay, cool. That's fine. There's 6 counters on there. I don't think I commit any more creatures to the board. I think I just like play out using my speakers and castle here. I see. So that just beats me, right? Yeah, I believe that just beats me. So now no more counters can be placed on this. I'm just going to do the idiot check and attack all, make sure I'm correct. Yeah. I could play this one out to try to see if I can just like out life gain my opponent and like deck them, but I don't think that makes for a good viewer experience, so I'm just gonna go ahead and concede here. I am not 0% to win that game, but I'm going to assume that my opponent has some big nasty win condition that can like beat through what I've got going on. Like, I don't know what it could be, like a Rise of the Second Sun or something like that. Or they just like Wrath me and then play Planeswalkers. Alright, we have a pretty good hand. Hawk into Priest into Ajani. Priest still probably makes more sense. I want to get the first creature large so that it can attack through a decent sized creature that my opponent is playing. Heliod is pretty cool. Have to play this turn and then try to spike Daxos and Hollowed Priest next turn. Yeah, it might be. I kind of would be willing to trade Hollowed Priest for Llanowar Elf. I'm going to go ahead and attack in with both. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Daxos would be 4/5 devotion. I'm going to go ahead and play Daxos here. I got a package. Sorry about that. Um, 26. We're not getting to quite like Ajani levels of board wipe my opponent this turn, but I might next turn. But I think I'll go ahead and do this. My board is pretty stalled.
Everything will be fine if we stand together.
Gotta rack up daily wins. I would like to draw the angel a couple of times. Not like the core of my game plan or anything, but it's... When you put a new card in your deck, you would like to draw it occasionally to like get a feel for how it's doing. So this hand has all the right sorts of cards, but it doesn't really have a curve. I think I'm just going to go ahead and mulligan this one on the draw. Yeah, this hand is much better. Hawk probably goes here. I'm going to go Soul Warden into Pridemate into 3-drops. The Hawk has returned to me. What a good bird. I assume this Soul Warden is just dead on sight. If our mono red opponent is just like killing my creatures and not attacking me, though, this rather favors me. Playing Heliod first could allow me to attack for more damage next turn, but given my opponent's play patterns, I think my Ajani's Pridemate is eating it anyway, and if either one of my 2 creatures die, I don't have the necessary amount of devotion. I'm currently at 20 life against the mono red deck. Presumably like mono red aggro deck at that. With a lot of incoming life gain. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, I will need something off the top so I don't just die. But it can be just about anything. That's good. Actually a touch late. I can't trigger life gain, so this thing is just going to get eaten by Grim Lavamancer. I need to wear... Go ahead and take that damage. I need to draw like a Linden to stabilize the board. I just think the 3 cards are going to be worth more than 4 damage over the course of the rest of this game. My opponent Grim Lavamancer kills this. I take maybe 3 or 4 damage this turn. Might not have outs. Okay, we flooded out there. I don't think we lose from that position most of the time. That's a little embarrassing. The Angel would have been better than the Sarah Ascendant there. The Sarah Ascendant would have been a 1-1. Alright, hand's good. Again, when you can lead with Soul Warden, it's almost always correct too, especially blind. It represents life gain from not only your creatures, but your opponent's creatures. You maybe miss out on damage as compared to Healer's Hawk, but you gain a lot of long-term equity because most decks in this format are playing creatures of some kind. I think we're playing Heliod as a finisher next turn. I suspect that my opponent is going to kill one of my creatures here, probably the Soul Warden. So this land makes me think that my opponent is going to be kind of an aggro deck. Okay, so they're a Goblins deck that has splashed. I was going to say, I'm not expecting a 1-mana white combat trick. I'm going to go ahead and grow the Healer's Hawk here. I don't want to run into like a Goblin Chain Whirler and lose this creature. Oh, hit a big old moth across the screen. Okay. You're gonna crash in, you're gonna crash in. Don't think the Healer's Hawk is. I don't want to give my opponent a good block with this. Go with these. Yeah, you get to return that with the flying counter. I know. I guess because of these flying counters, the evasion of Healer's Hawk isn't actually super relevant anymore, and I should actually just, like, stack up and create larger creatures. Is this a card that I should play just based on power level? Probably not. Oh geez. Alright. I didn't play around Chain Whirler this time. Yikes. That's really cute. So now my opponent can Skirk Prospector all of these things, turn them into flyers. I think Alpha Strike me and kill me or close to it. Oh geez, like that's just another Muxus trigger? Okay, that was cool as hell. Yeah. Okay, alright. Alright. Well, this session is not going nearly as well as the last one I recorded did. Only put one win on the board today. I don't know how good the mana is in this format and whether or not it's like just correct to like splash a color in goblins, but what my opponent was doing was really cool. Kind of regardless of what my opponent's doing, my initial sequence looks like this, and then on turn 3, I get to make real decisions about whether I double one drop or whether I play a Hollowed Priest. Okay, it's this. I want to draw land more than anything else currently. Okay. Kind of weird that this is a deck that usually wants to play out everything main phase 1 in case something goes wrong in combat. Alright! Alright, I get it. My stuff is dying. Like, message received. Okay, this is good. So this is 25, 26, all attack, 27 with lifelink, activate, 28, and I have something that can get killed by a lightning strike now. Or equivalent, because, you know, Wizard's Lightning is also a thing. Alright, at least we have something that is alive. Probably doesn't make sense to play Heliod. Okay, that's good card advantage. This is also a 4/5 flyer, which is super inconvenient. Now my opponent is randomly going to just like copy some bolts, clear my board, and I probably lose to it. That's good. Gotten the oops from my opponent. I hope that is a legitimate oops. Because I would love to trade this token for that. Like, have something that lets me grind. Seems like my opponent has some sort of lightning strike card for this Soul Warden. Yep, Yeah, so they could have done that first and then kept me from getting a counter on this. So we trade for the big one, and then I get to put the Daxos. Oh, that thing's going to come back. Then I get to make the Daxos considerably bigger. This puts it out of single removal spell. I guess I can do that as a combat trick. So I'm currently showing 5 toughness, which does get killed by all of that. My opponent has no cards. Then this is great for me. My opponent's sequencing error was pretty punishing there as well. That extra 1 counter and 1 life. Well, not the 1 life so much, but the extra 1 counter was certainly important. How long have we been recording for? 27 minutes? Let's try to get another win or two. My goal is to keep these historic videos just short as something that people can be watching every day on the channel. They're largely mental breaks for me from like whatever it is that I'm doing. You know, just kind of cut back, cast some white spells. My hand is sort of like medium minus. Yikes, card's really good against me. Finishing the thought, my hand is sort of medium minus. I need to draw a 2-drop, but I'm on the draw, which is why I kept this. The third Heliod, though, is pretty brutal. That's not going to be a particularly good card with this hand. Pretty sure... Well, no. I take that back. These things are really annoying. At me? Oh, I see. I'm going to gain life twice here. And I know my opponent has a Wizard's Lightning. So rather than creating 1 3/3, I probably want to create 2 2/2s. So this deck can randomly just like combo off with Runaway Steamkin. Harsh. I am probably just stone cold dead here. That puts me to 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A chump block is forced as of right now. How do I win? I don't know that I can. I think I'm going to take one more damage to kill one of these things. My opponent alphas in and I'm dead. Well, this was brutal. My opponent strung things together really well with Runaway Steamkin. Maybe this is just a day where I get bullied. We have an okay opening hand here. So this could be a mirror, or it could be blue-white auras. I'm going to lead on the Hawk, assuming that this is not going to get to profitably attack in the next turn cycle for one reason or another. Okay, it is a mirror. I absolutely will not take that trade. Oh, okay. Soul Warden is really good here. That may be good enough where I don't want to play Hollowed Priest this turn. Yeah, I think I just want to get this down. I don't get to 27 next turn. We have 20 now. Be real close. I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Hawk. And then I'll get a payoff card into play next turn. Hopefully 2 payoff cards. Oh, my opponent is more aura-centric than I gave them credit for. I may have overvalued Soul Warden then. So we're looking to create a creature that either is going to be larger than their enchantment creature, or that at least makes it hold back on defense. Is that a black land? Oh no, okay, that's the angel card. This is fine. Like, I have evasion in the air, plus I have other payoff cards. Yeah, so the dream here is to get 2 payoff cards in the same turn by drawing a land. So I think I play both payoff cards this turn and then Heliod next turn, and then kind of go ham. Heliod should enter as a creature, triggering everything else. I just want to go wide of another removal spell. If I can go like wide and tall at the same time, that's also fantastic. with the indestructible thing? Okay. Triple Heliod, huh? Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. We'd like to grind to a diamond by the end of the month. I think that should be very easy to do. I don't want to just get thrown down a whole bunch when this season rotates, whatever they call it. I'm still kind of learning some of the inner workings of how Arena works. But I think I'm going to make this one the last match unless it's just like very, very short. Triple Heliod, like, again. Unfortunately, the way this hand plays out, it's Soul Warden into Hollow Priest into double 1-drop. I think this goes back, even though this is a card that I'm trying to test. I hate these things. I hate them so much. So it's double 1-drop this turn, so I can attack with a creature and then put counters on Hallowed Priest next turn. So I don't know if that thing is supposed to attack. That trading with the Speaker of the Heavens, potentially. Very good. Okay, it was supposed to attack. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. Do I sacrifice a Speaker of Heaven to gain a life and put a +1/+1 counter on Hallowed Priest? No, because I can't put two +1/+1 counters on it, which is what would matter. Because the second +1/+1 counter would save it from shock. It's like humorous how annoying the red 1-drops that like aren't good cards are against this deck. Like, this is just a Doomblade for most of my early plays. Oh, cool, they're attacking. Just like do some spectacle stuff or something. Okay, I mean, a land isn't what I want, but this is a fine start to letting me swing the game in my favor. This is something I'm going to have to watch out for. So this was +1/+0. I think I go ahead and trade my lifelinker here. Because this represents 2 damage every turn. And they didn't activate the defender ability this turn. Yeah. This looks a little embarrassing if I draw exactly Heliod. Am I the beatdown? Not the beatdown. I should probably hold this back. It's awkward because then my opponent just like doesn't attack, but I think I just saved my life. Hallowed Priest has defender. I'm effectively at 9 because of this. And a removal spell from my opponent is pretty annoying for me. I know. Two first strike hasters, huh? Go ahead and block this. I don't want to give them another creature to replace that one. This is not the best time to be drawing planes. Oh. It's +1, right? Yeah, it is +1. I really need a live draw. Thank you. Thank you, planes. That's pretty frustrating. My opponent did have a lot of things that were just going to kill me there, though. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here for this video. I hope you enjoyed, even though I got bullied. Maybe we need some sort of sad emote for the thumbnail for this one. Alright, if you're really enjoying my comment, please consider subscribing, all that sort of stuff, helping to find more people find my content. I'll be back again sometime soon.